Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Parenting Tools podcast. My name is Jordan.
And my name is Jason. This is the podcast where two parenting tools, myself and Jordan, just try our best at being dads and talk about our experience of our struggle.
And our victories.
There we go. Pulled it back. Pulled it back.
Glass half full today. Come on. my glass is half full as well.
Get that in. So Jordan, how has your week been?
So it's Monday. As we record this, it's Monday. But my weekend was superb.
Oh,
really good.
Wow.
I had a really good weekend. A bit of a win. So my children both slept through the night.
Oh, come on.
For the first time in about 4 or 5 weeks this weekend. However...
Oh, no.
This was a night I had both my nephews stay over. And the youngest one didn't sleep through the night.
Oh, what a kick in the teeth.
What a kick in the teeth. He appeared in our bedroom at, I think it was 20 to 4. Wow. Saying, can I have some milk?
How old are they?
4.
Both of them?
4 and 9. So 9-year-old conked out for the night. Yeah. Didn't hear him till the morning. But 4-year-old, 20 to 4. And then he was in our room, I think at about 6:15, asking for his mum and dad, bless him.
Oh,
but
heartbreaking.
I know, but he was all right. So that was fun. But our kids slept through. Whee!
Have they continued to sleep through? As in last night?
Yeah, I think so. No? So no. Yeah, no, they did. They both slept through last night. 3-year-old woke up about 6.
Okay, yeah.
But the night before he woke up 7. That hour makes a massive difference.
It does. What time are you going to bed?
What time am I going to bed?
Yeah.
Last night was about 11:30.
Oh, that's a late one.
Yeah, it was too late. I played football in the evening and I was just warm and we won 5-1, so I was a bit of a high.
You just run around the house do you know what?
I contributed nothing to that win, so I don't know why I was so excited. Just stood there.
Oh, we had quite a late one last night as well. I say about 11:30, but it was one of those ones where we just refused to acknowledge our responsibility as parents. We were just like, no, we just need to watch some TV together.
Do you ever get to that point where you're so tired, you know you need to go to bed, but you're just too tired to move?
Oh, that's the worst. And that's where 11 o'clock bedtime turns into 11:30 bedtime turns into 12 before you've actually nodded off.
And then it's like 11:23, and I think I'll just wait till 1:30.
You might as well.
It's like people that have the TV volume on 11. You think, well, I've got to make it 10. If it gets to 14, you think, well, I'll make it 15. You've got to round up to the nearest half an hour.
You're going to be tired anyway, so you might as well.
What's that extra 7 minutes going to do?
And in the morning, 7 minutes feels like eternity, doesn't it?
Oh, gosh.
You're bartering with your other half. I'll do 2.5 minutes.
And then that 9-minute snooze. It's like 9 seconds.
Yeah. Have you ever had one of those nights? And I'm having them less frequently now, but where you close your eyes and then it's almost like you literally just open them and it's morning.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
I'm having them less frequently now because my daughter wakes me up in the middle of the night and reminds me it's not time to get up.
Those deep sleeps.
Oh, a thing of the past.
So you had a good weekend?
Actually, yeah, I really did have a good weekend. What did we do? So last week, my wife Em was working in London on Thursday. And we don't live in London. We live in Sheffield. That's about a 3-hour drive without any traffic. That's an important distinction.
Okay.
So Em was working in London on Thursday and Friday. And then she had another thing in London that would to basically not bring her home until Saturday night. So any normal kind of operating, you just think, okay, it's great. I'll just look after the child. See you on Saturday night. But we thought we won't be normal. Just because that's the way it's always done doesn't mean you have to do it that way.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what, I'll do one night by myself with my daughter. And then the next day we'll drive down to London, meet Em in a hotel. It'll be a nice little day trip. And we had a lovely time. bought Noah a pack of Pokemon cards. She loves Pokemon now. Like, she learns all the names. It's phenomenal. Even better, I sold one of them for 50 quid.
Wow.
Yeah.
To who?
On eBay.
Oh.
So if you didn't know that, there you go.
Noah's looking around for a Pikachu. Daddy, where's my card?
It's gone to a special farm.
Yeah. Oh, he's come back as a £50.
But we had a lovely, lovely weekend. However, the traffic, I did not time it well.
Oh, no.
Driving in London at any time, it's not good. So a 3-hour journey with a 2-year-old, that was pushing it. 4.5 hours. Just me.
Nope.
She slept for 2 of them.
Oh, that'll do. Take that.
But the others she didn't. And she, to be fair, she was brilliant for the majority until the last half an hour. She was chatting away, had a lovely time. The last half an hour, she was just like, you know that thing what kids do, they don't know how to express, and so they just move every part of their body.
Yeah.
It's like, and I felt so bad. Like, I thought I'd failed at parenting because I was like, oh no, I've dragged my child all the way to London. And she had a lovely time anyway. But for that one moment, I wanted to quit everything.
I did something in the car once where, and I really wasn't proud of it, looking back. So our little boy was kicking off, same thing, limbs everywhere. And I'm thinking, I need to stop him from shouting and screaming. And normally it's like, you take a toy away, send him to the room. It's like, what can you do? He didn't have a toy, he didn't have a book, didn't have the iPad. So I just took his shoe off him. I just reached behind me, and the only thing I could reach was his foot. So I just took the Velcro off, took his shoe off him. I want my shoe back. I said, look, if you're quiet, Daddy will give you your shoe back. And he quietened down. And when we stopped at the next lights, I put his shoe back on him.
That is brilliant.
But then when you just say, look, I took my children's shoes off them. It doesn't sound right. It was the
threat of no shoes. Take your shoes away.
But yeah, took his shoe off him and he sorted it out.
Oh, that was brilliant.
One thing I do want to ask you though, so this is episode 18, I believe.
18?
We recorded 17 and 18 back to back.
Yeah.
So a week ago, we were sat here recording 16 on Zoom.
So yeah, I was sat at home, you were sat here.
I was sat here, you were sat at home, and you got a text through saying Noah's got chicken pox.
Yes, that's quite an important cliffhanger that we left there.
Yeah, cliffhanger, he's back. He's made his return.
Oh,
come on, Clifford.
So if you haven't listened to it, whilst recording the last episode
on Zoom, I was here, you were at yours.
I had a photo come through which looked like chicken pox all over my daughter. And I say it looked like it because it did, but it wasn't.
I wasn't.
Literally, by the time we'd finished recording, they'd all disappeared.
False alarm.
Yeah, I think it must have been an allergic reaction or something.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh, that'll
happy
do.
days. Or just a really short spout of chicken pox.
I don't know why I sound disappointed that she didn't have... I'm so sorry.
So I am slightly disappointed that she didn't catch it because all the kids in her nursery have caught it. And so, like, the chances of her getting it are getting slim. And so apparently it gets worse as you get older. And so it's like, we wanted to get it so we can just build up immunity.
Yeah.
But
you didn't get that. Didn't get that luxury of her having chicken pox.
No. It's like one of those things that's like, it's horrible, but it's necessary.
Yeah, get it out of the way.
Yeah. So if you know anyone with chicken pox, let me know.
Send them round.
Yeah. They used to do that, didn't they?
Herd immunity.
Yeah. Chicken pox parties.
Yeah. And people started to talk about that at COVID, didn't they? Like, let's all just get together and catch it. And
yeah, that was weird.
That was weird. Turns out you can get it loads. That wasn't a good idea, was it?
Hindsight there.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Let's move on. Let's move on from COVID talk.
I've got an update for you.
Come on.
So, early listeners of the pod will remember our guest, Sam, who's our first guest.
First guest
on the pod.
Episode 3.
And Sam and his wife were expecting another baby. And the baby has arrived.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it's very... I'm not going to divulge the name, someone else's details. But just massive congratulations to Sam and Nia. But also, Nia had a top tool.
Oh,
I missed it again. I was prepared for it as well. But she shared a top tool with us, which I'm going to share for everyone else just to celebrate the birth of their son.
Bertha.
It's a new nickname now.
Yeah.
Anyway, the top tool, really simple. You know those little fold away steps?
Yeah.
they'd bought their daughter a little fold-away step so she could help with, like, turn the washing machine on, doing all of that. And genuinely, it had changed, like, our lives.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like, for me, like, there was always the thing of, kids, when you're trying to do, like, the dishwasher, like, the kids are an inconvenience.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, actually, no, helping them understand to do it, because when they're a little bit older, they can just do it by themselves.
Yeah. Do the groundwork now.
Yeah. Get in early.
Yeah. Give a man a fish. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, congratulations, Sam and Nia. That's amazing. And it was a little boy, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I'd love to hear as well, a few weeks down the line, how they're coping, how they're getting on with 2.
Yeah.
At the minute, from what I've seen and what I've said, they're loving life. That could just be the honeymoon period. I don't know much about that, so it could it could wear off. It might not.
Yeah, it'll wear off. Well, I've got a top tool as well that's coming.
Top tool.
Top tool. So I walked into church the other day, and a friend of mine, Georgie, said, "Hey, I've been using one of your top tools," and she said, "Top tool." She did it.
Wow.
So a few weeks ago, I talked about space potato.
Yes.
I said, eat your space potato. My little boy ate his mash. She said that her nephew, he is sport mad. Loves football, loves cricket, everything sport. He is on it. And they were having meatballs and pasta. And so they said he wasn't eating them. They said, "Here comes the ball, score a goal." He ate it. They all cheered, celebrated. He ate his food.
Wow.
She said it was space potato that came to mind. She thought, right, what does he like? Football, score a goal.
I mean, she deserves her own credit there.
Oh, she does.
She made it up herself.
She does.
Inspiration, but yeah.
Yeah, we were the inspiration. But yeah, so I thought that was really cool. She did say it took a long time. They were cheering every time. So yeah, yellow card, shirt off. But so yeah, that was cool. And I too have an update.
Oh, come on.
So a few weeks ago, we had an email from Victor in Switzerland.
Yes.
Do you remember?
I do.
OG abroad listener.
One of the names that we haven't butchered, to my knowledge.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think we're doing all right with Victor. We should have done better with Callum. And Victor has got in touch because the whole point of Victor's first email was, we're having a baby. Some friends invited us round to prepare.
Oh, yeah, I remember it.
And it went south. He's put, "Dear Jason and Jordan, I wrote to you from Switzerland a few episodes ago, and I have to say it's always a pleasure to listen to your podcast." Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Victor. "It helped me figure out what parenting can feel like whilst my wife was still pregnant. I'm a dad now."
Hey. Congratulations.
Come on, Victor. Congratulations. But I can't believe I'm writing this to a beautiful baby boy, Nathan. Wow. That's lovely.
Wow.
The birth was complicated and involved a lot of physicians, but in the end it was perfect and we're very happy. So Victor has come to us with his first ever daddy issue.
Wow.
Yeah, his first ever one. And he put on the email that he was writing to us 36 hours in.
36 hours.
So
Victor, what a legend.
I love that we are that involved. So he said the first day was hard. We couldn't sleep for 3 nights because his wife was in pain prior to giving birth. Second night she was giving birth. Third night, baby was here. And basically, I'll cut it down a little bit. He's just saying that he feels a bit useless. He's feeling like he can't do anything. His wife's feeding. Where they're staying sounds amazing. It's a hotel room in the hospital.
Wow.
So they're all there. They've got nurses on hand, and he's saying that he can change his baby, he can hold him, and he can bring his wife water. But other than that, that's all he can do.
Yeah.
So he's saying, that's it. That's my first daddy issue. How do you deal with it? And he's put, but then there's the joy I get when he falls asleep while I'm holding him. That is the best. When they fall asleep like on your chest. And the pride I have while sharing first pictures with our family. That's my first daddy's pride. Thanks again for your podcast and kind words last time. Victor, Alice and Nathan.
Oh, amazing.
So yeah, that whole thing of feeling a bit useless whilst your wife's giving birth. And
I've experienced that too as well. Like, that's exactly how it is. And I think for me, what helped was kind of understanding what my role was in all of that. And it changes for each person and each couple. But for us, like, again, it was different because we were in the hospital a lot. But my main responsibility outside of just visiting was looking after my wife.
Yeah.
Like that was quite literally it. And when we were actually home, Em was doing all the feeding, all that kind of stuff. So it was like my main role was just make sure drinks are on hand, making sure she's getting enough vitamins in her diet, all those really practical, simple things.
Yeah.
As much as possible. And then you go down the avenue of, Em went down the avenue of like pumping.
I've got bad experiences of pumping. And
Can't say mine's quite pleasant.
And that's from seeing my sister do it. Oh. And she had this really loud thing that just went...
It's literally like milking a cow.
And you look up and there's just my sister like with this thing on, and you're thinking, I don't want to see this.
I still have nightmares of the machine noise. But anyway, when that comes in, like the responsibilities become a little bit more, but still it's just like, for me, understanding actually my place and all that was really helpful, because I wanted to do more. I wanted to like actually feel like I was being more productive and helpful.
Yeah.
But actually what I was doing was helpful at the time. And Victor, don't worry, there will become a time when there's more things to do.
It's coming, Victor. It's coming. I'm the same. I think partly, so I've obviously had two, I've mentioned that a lot. I was more and understanding of my role second time round.
Okay, yeah.
Which is to support my wife as she's giving birth and be everything that she needs me to be, even if she doesn't realise it. So that could be really practically just letting her squeeze your hand. You know, that's something that I just thought, she's in pain here. Take it out on me. I'm fine. Got two hands. This one can do things. That one is out of play for a little bit, but it's fine. Little things like that, you know. He mentioned there that in his email that the nurse is saying, look, just get drinks, make sure that your wife's okay. And that's partly it. I think first time around, there was so much excitement and kind of adrenaline off the back of it that my wife was very much like, everyone come round, see the baby. And I could see that she was getting tired, even if she didn't realise it. Yeah. So little things like just kind of staggering visitors a little bit.
Tell them to go home.
Yeah, just put a baby gate on front of the door. So yeah, like, or just saying, oh, we're going to stay in today, recognising that she's maybe a bit tired, we need a bit of time to ourselves, just the three of us, because actually since he's been born, we've just had loads of people around. So little things like that. And again, you don't feel like you're doing much, but it does help. And stuff is coming your way.
Yeah. I think that's the most helpful thing. Like, they change so quickly, and like responsibilities change so quickly that when they're new, when they're brand new, you can't really see to the end of next week, or you think they're going to be like that forever. They change so quickly. And so just massive congratulations, Victor. So I feel quite part of the journey.
Yeah. He did say that the middle names are Jason and Jordan. Imagine.
Poor child.
Nathan, Jason, Jordan. Top tool. Oh, congratulations, Victor, and thank you for getting in touch. It was amazing to read it. I read that email with a massive smile on my face.
It was really good.
That was amazing.
I have a question for the listeners. Like, this is a legitimate question that I have. Like, genuine. So last episode, we had a professional athlete on the podcast.
Yeah, we did. And we had Derek on as well. Now it's for the listeners to decide who's the professional athlete out of me and you.
Definitely not based on my question. Derek's obviously paid to exercise. My question, very practically, how do you fit exercise into your life as a parent? Like, if you go to the gym, do you both go to the gym in different times, and you're both responsible at different times? Do you go at lunchtime? Like, where in your day does exercise live consistently? Because like, I reckon I need to exercise more, but when?
I mentioned it when we were talking to Derek, that when he said about sleeping or lack of sleep affects your weight, your like shoulders lifted, your eyes lit up. Like, hey,
yeah, I've got an excuse now. I was just trying to use it as an excuse so I could convince my wife to let me sleep more.
Well, yeah, that's what. Like, hang on a second, I've got got a ticket to a lion here.
But yeah, legitimately, when did you do it? Because there's so many other things that you have to juggle as a parent, and like if you're both working as well, like that conversation. Oh, just you be in sole charge of the children, so I can go to the gym for an hour.
Yeah.
How does that work?
So I, as you can tell, because I'm massive, go to the gym quite regularly. I haven't been for a long time, but tend to go on my lunch break. And that's it. And so I stop working, I go to the gym, come back, carry on working.
Yeah.
And that's just my time. One thing that I do is I play football.
Yeah.
Like 8 aside every week, and we play 9 till 10 p.m.
So that's a good time.
So I remember we got that time slot because it was the only time slot available with the pitches.
Yeah.
And this was before kids. And this was on a Monday, and we used to call it Tired Tuesday at work. Everyone could realise that I was just shattered. And pre-kids, it was like, well, this is far too late to be playing football. But all the parents, all the dads, they loved it. They were like, keep the time, let's just get the kids down, then we can come out and play football. Well, as soon as I had kids, I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
It's, kids down, you're not missing anything, get to put them to bed, get to do bath time.
You're not rushing as well.
Yeah, I love doing bath time.
Yeah.
You're not rushing out the door. The only thing is getting into bed at like 10:30, 11:15.
Especially if your kid's not sleeping that well.
Yeah. Just absolutely roasting.
It's a bit of a gamble, that.
It is. It's hard. It is actually hard when you get into bed and then they're up at 2. And you've had 2.5 hours sleep after running around.
Pure adrenaline because you've won.
So yeah, that's one thing I do. And one thing that Luca has started to do recently is when I leave, you can obviously see me with my football kit on, he'll say, Daddy, you score 3 goals? Or he'll like, tell me how many goals to score, which is, really lovely. That's and it actually makes me try harder.
It's amazing.
Because if I go home and he'll like do it the next day, be like, Daddy, did you score 3 goals? Oh no. He'll go, oh. But this is something that I want to pick up on from a previous episode. You mentioned, and you made a really good point of, our kids don't need to see us as super dads or superheroes.
Yeah.
They just need to see how we respond to life.
Yeah.
Basically. And we had a comment from someone on TikTok saying, no, your kids should think you're a superhero. Now, I love my dad, and I always used to think, like, if there was a race, my dad would win. If there was arm wrestling, because when you're 8, for some reason, arm wrestling's important. And I don't know why that is. It's just brilliant. Like lads at school just rolling up their sleeves like, do you want an arm wrestle? And I used to think, like, if there's an arm wrestle, my dad's winning. And then we spoke to Derek last week, and I'm realising, actually, my dad's not winning. But like, I can remember being on holiday with some friends, and one of the other guys' dads was taller than my dad. I was thinking, my dad's not bigger than him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I always saw my dad as like the biggest and the best at everything.
Yeah.
But also recognised that he's just a bloke.
Yeah.
And he was always very honest, and my dad's a proper manly man. And when you say that, that can often sound to people that it's like their emotions are closed off. Like they were there, but they never told you they loved you. That couldn't be further from the truth with my dad. Like he told us every day he loved us, he played with us, he cuddled us, he kissed us. But he was this rock hard bloke that my mates called Rambo. So like I love the thought of my kids seeing me as some sort of super dad. But look at me. Do you know what I mean? It's unlikely. So I'm very comfortable with them seeing me as a normal bloke who, isn't the biggest, isn't the best, isn't the strongest. Don't get me wrong, bring on the dad race on sports day, because I'm all in. But like, he said to me the other day, Daddy, score 100 goals. And I was like, it's not going to happen.
It's like, need to learn some expectations there.
Yeah, and I think that's the word, it's expectation. Yeah, I'd love them to look up to me as some sort of hero.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to look up to me and think that I'm indestructible.
See, I think it's naturally the majority of people do look up at their parents, and for most people, unless it happens a different way, there's a moment you all sort of realise that your parents aren't like indestructible.
Yeah.
Now, some people it happens tragically. They learn really young that that's not the case. But for most people, there's a moment where they go, oh, my parents didn't have it all figured out and all of that kind of stuff. And because you just, as a kid, you're not supposed to know that. No. And so from the comment, sure, yeah, they're supposed to think you're a superhero, but with limits. Yeah. I can see where the guy's coming from, like, but we're coming from the same place of we're not saying to do any less. We're actually saying give your 100% best to your kids.
Yeah.
But actually, there's that understanding of, and it comes with age and it comes with time and maturity, but it's that thing of not helping them to expect things that aren't right.
Yeah.
Like, if they can't make them think that you can fly when you can't.
Well, no.
Unless you're a pilot.
No, and if you tried, it would hurt.
Exactly.
Watch Daddy fly. Watch Daddy break.
But I think that's for me, is like, actually, I'm really looking forward to that as my daughter grows up, of actually kind of talking through some of those things of actually where my faults are in order to help her develop quicker. Like, I don't want to give off that persona like the whole of her life that I'm just, indestructible. Actually, we learn quickest through flaws and like mistakes. And so actually, the quicker you can pass that on to your kids, the better. And I think also just that environment of your home, of it's okay to fail or not be the best at something. Because undoubtedly when she goes to school, there'll be targets that are important, and she's got to do well at a certain thing. But if she doesn't, it's not going to change how much she's loved in our home or anything like that. So it's probably for more as they grow older. But yeah, it's funny out of TikTok how so much can be taken out of context.
Well, it is. And to be fair to people that, see them and comment on them, they're 30-second clips of 2-minute, 3-minute conversations. Yeah. But, and the guy, he did say, that's how he looks up to his dad and he loves him. And, and that's how I see my dad. But I'm very much aware that he's just a normal bloke.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. We're not just ignoring the faults.
Yeah.
Like, I think my dad's the best. But he's also just a bloke.
Yeah.
And I think it's just having that recognition and awareness, which in my mind, quite healthy.
Yeah. It's like everyone's got a world's best dad mug.
Yeah.
One of them is.
Yeah, the rest are liars.
I wonder who it is. I wonder who is officially the world's best dad.
And do they know? Or
got a mug.
Does them thinking that they're the best dad negate them so they're only the second best?
A bit of humility, mate. Knock you back down a peg. But yeah, that is something that I thought of the other day. Just when he said, "Daddy, go score 100 goals," and this was in a league game as well. Like, I'd do well to get one. So yeah, it was like, actually, I want him to know I can't do everything that is asked of me.
Yeah.
But also, and I've not done any research into this, we know just from society that men, dads, feel pressure to be that like person that can do everything.
Yeah.
Provide, be present, work, be 100% all the time. Like Derek was talking about last week, he comes back from physical training, having to be his best self. And that's not always possible, but people feel that pressure to be.
And I think that's part of even like conversations like this that actually opens the door to a lot of, specifically guys, well, I'm sure women feel the same, but just letting go of some of that pressure of like, actually, because you can carry it for so long of it, I have not lived up to the standard that I thought I would be. And like we've talked about it, when we let ourselves down or like we lose our temper a little bit, and it's like you feel like you've really let yourself down, and you feel like you let kids down, your whole family, and it's like it's just normal. Like, absolutely, you're still trying your best. You don't negate any of that. It's just actually a part of life is failing at that.
Yeah.
I think that's so important.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to the blokes just doing your best.
Yeah.
Give yourselves a pat on the back.
Absolutely.
Come on now.
Jordan, this not this week, the week before, we mentioned something on the podcast called SAD. Seasonal affective disorder.
Seasonal what?
I skirted past it because I didn't know what it is. Seasonal.
You got a swollen tongue this week.
Seasonal affective disorder.
Affective.
Or affection. One of those. Anyway, essentially, it's basically.
I love you full on when seasonal disorder.
and rightly so, because what I found out this week is they've changed the name. Yeah.
Oh, gone. Carry on without me. Man down.
So they've changed the name, which is why I don't remember the last name. So they've changed it to Depression with a Seasonal Pattern.
Depression with a
something like that. Anyway, I'm not a medical professional. Take that with a bit of pinch of salt. Essentially, just when it's getting dark and the rain's coming and it's getting cold, there's a part of the population that just start feeling a bit rubbish about themselves and a bit life, and just it could be just like borderline depression. It could just be genuinely just feeling down, or you start to lose love for things that you used to love, or hobbies or passions like that.
It's this time of year, you hear people go, "Oh, I go to work and it's dark." And I come home and it's dark. Which is true.
It's true, but it can really affect people. And one thing that happened to me the other week is that I got to the end of the week and I realised I hadn't showered for 4 days.
No way.
Yeah.
4 days?
4 days.
Had you bathed?
No. I'd bathed my daughter.
Wow.
I'd washed my face and brush my teeth, all that stuff.
Little flannel wash.
But literally, and the only reason I say that's quite embarrassing to say that, but that was a reflection of where my mental health was. Of I was operating everything else in my life, but I was not looking after myself. And that's because, and I'm pretty sure most people that are parents, that their self often comes last.
Yeah.
And so I was getting to the end of the day and it was literally like being absolutely shattered. I'm like, I cannot be bothered to go and have a shower now, or being woken up early morning where my daughter needs my attention or my wife needs something. It's like immediately going from responsibility to responsibility, where actually just looking after myself has just fallen right down. Now I'm happy to say I haven't gone that long without a shower since, but just to say, actually, to risk a little bit of embarrassment, to say anyone that's in a similar position, it may not be that, it might be something else where you're just not looking after yourself properly because you're trying to look after your kids, or that's actually quite normal. And don't feel bad about it. Don't beat yourself up. We talked about not being superhero dads. It's okay to fail and not hit the mark every time. But it's also really important to take time for yourself and actually make sure that you're operating at where you should be. Yeah. Because you can't give your best to your kids or to your family when you're not looking after yourself as well. So have a shower.
And did you feel, and this could potentially sound like a really silly question, did you just feel better after you'd had a shower?
And the thing is, I knew I would feel better after having a shower. But it's a weird thing that happens with your mental health, where it just ties you up in knots. And it's even that thing is, you need a shower, you feel a bit greasy, you can only use dry shampoo so much.
Shout out Batiste.
All of that, but there's just a mental incapacity. You just we talked about when you've stayed up too late and just stay up a little bit longer. It's like that. Yeah. Where it's what the solution is, but you just don't have the for the energy to do it. And it's one of those really bizarre things, and it can happen to anybody, and it does happen to a lot of people. It just happens to be that for me, when my mental health is low, the way it expresses itself is I'm a lot messier, and when it gets really bad like it was, I don't shower as often. Just because, and it's a mixture of everything, and a mixture of life and busyness, but fundamentally it's coming back to the how you're treating yourself, and it's having a bit of self-love. And when you feel a bit rubbish just about life and a bit not even fully depressed, just when you're just feeling a bit down, you can almost keep things away from yourself that'll make you feel good. And it's really bizarre, but it felt 10 times better after having a shower. Wow.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've never really been, it's hard for me to kind of comment because I've never been in that position. I feel like when we had our second child and I was losing sleep left, right and centre, I kind of went to, not a dark place, but I felt, and I've said it on an episode before, I just didn't feel like myself. And that is when, so I'm 31, and kind of, I feel like my year at school, because you always go back to school years, don't you? I don't know, when you talk about mental health, to me, it's still a bit of a stigma. But to people a few years younger than me, it's kind of everyone's really open about how they're feeling. And so I was thinking, I haven't got mental health problems. I'm just a bit tired. But I heard somebody word it in a way, like you have physical health and you have mental health. And when you have a cold, you're not in bad health. Like if you were to fill in a form and say, are you fit and well? Yeah, I've just got a bit of a cold.
Yeah.
And that's what mental health can be like sometimes. You can have a kind of like a mental cold where you're just down for a few days. If you were to fill in a form, have you got a mental health problem? No, but you're just feeling a bit down.
Yeah.
And I was very much there for a few times, and it was all sleep based, and it was all just exhaustion. But definitely kind of that wording of, you know, you can have a poor bout of mental health without having a mental health problem, opened my eyes to it a little bit. So yeah, kind of that was a learning curve, and it was kind of do you know what, I'm all right.
Yeah.
And this is a couple of days, it's a bit of a slump, I'll be fine. But yeah, mate.
And
look after yourself.
It's weird, because if you'd have asked me like how I was feeling, genuinely, I was all right. I just felt like overwhelmed and busy.
Yeah.
That's the way I would have described it. And so like for my job, so I'm a pastor, I spend a lot of time with people and talking through issues and dealing with hurts and all that sort of stuff. And so I have people that I offload to, and that almost counsel me and all that. So there's that part of my own well-being that I'm keeping a check on, because again, I have to be all right to be able to help other people. But it wasn't like a major thing. But actually, physically, it's like, you've not showered for 4 days. That's it's getting pretty rank. And so it's just one of those kind of just openers for people. Like actually, if you're going through something and it's like you may have a struggle with mental health and you might need to speak to a professional. You might also need just to look after yourself as well. I'm a massive advocate for like therapists and talking to counsellors. Honestly, they've helped us so much in me and my wife in our journey. But just in general, like we've all got a lot of baggage that sometimes we just need to talk or chat to. But it might not be that extreme where you just need to take some time.
Yeah. Give yourself a minute.
Yeah.
I'd say go for a drive, but it's so expensive.
Be more expensive than a counsellor.
Honestly. That used to be my go-to. If I was like angry and just needed to take myself away, get in the car, go for a drive, put some music on.
Yeah.
Drive with the windows down, just like kind of blast fresh air into my face. But now it's just like, that'll make me feel worse. When I'm filling up.
So one good thing that came out of the back of this is that when I was feeling much better about myself, just reflected over the last few days, and I wasn't a bad father, a bad husband. I just felt like I wasn't 100%. And one of the things that helped me in my, not being as a parent, but as a husband, was, have you heard the love languages?
I've heard of the love languages.
Love languages.
For the listeners. Enlighten us.
A love language is essentially how you experience or how you feel love and how you show love to others. So for me, one of them is I love gifts. I love giving gifts. Yep. I love getting gifts. That speaks to me of like value and appreciation and love. For my wife, her top one is quality time. That's how she experiences love. It's a shame that mine's not there as well. But so for me to spend quality time with my wife isn't a chore, but I just know that's when we're spending quality time together that she feels extra love there. That's kind of filling up her bucket.
You could buy her a nice watch and then that ticks both your boxes.
Oh dear.
I'm so sorry.
So I know as well that for my wife, another one of them is kind of acts of service. So when she was preparing to go away to London, I knew that because she was looking after Noah quite a lot and the nursery thing was stressing her out. I knew that she wouldn't have packed her clothes the night before and sorted out outfits and all that. So I went out and bought her 2 new outfits that would last the 2 days at work.
What a guy.
Oh yeah, this was a good moment. And then didn't even tell her just until the night before. Went, I've already sorted out your clothes. And it was like, you could just feel the appreciation of love. That was a good moment.
I feel like that would be so risky for like 99% of men to buy their wife some clothes without them knowing.
That's very true.
I'll tell you what, you played it well.
But the top tool within all of that.
Top tool.
Maybe one day we'll get it back again. But as again, of the extra step of being aware of even like our kids, the way they experience love, and our spouse or whoever we're doing life with or parenting with, is like, actually sometimes we can get lost in the responsibilities where we know we love them, we know we appreciate them, but it gets lost.
Yeah.
And so then again, just taking some time and going, I might not experience love the same way that you do, but I know this means a lot to you.
Yeah. I can give an example of that just now, before you arrived. So our little boy, we've had a bit of a busy weekend. He's not slept. He's had late nights. His routine's been all over the place. He's done really well, but it's been late nights and there's been a lot going on. We've been out every day. And I think it just took its toll on him today, this afternoon. He didn't have his afternoon nap. And come 5-6 o'clock, he was just...
nightmare.
Just a bit all over the place. Bless him. He didn't want to eat. He didn't want to do anything. He just wanted to sit down, and he kept asking for the telly on, which isn't like him at dinner time. He's very good at dinner time. Didn't want to go in the bath. Didn't want to put his pajamas on. And it was like, okay, what do you want? And we're just looking for ways to fix it. It's like, do you want this? No. Okay, tell us what you do want. I don't know. And we were just looking for solutions. How can we calm this little boy down? Yeah. How can we sort him out? Eventually I just said to him, do you want a cuddle? He went, yeah.
Aww.
And he curled up in my arms. Liam read him a book, and it just completely sorted him out. Like, he just wanted
affection.
He just wanted affection.
Yeah.
He didn't know what he wanted. So all that he needed was just like a cuddle.
Yeah.
Just needed a bit of love. He calmed down. We read books. He went to bed, and we've had a big problem recently. I've mentioned it before about him coming out of his room at night time. Didn't come out once.
Wow.
Just went straight to bed.
Oh.
So, yeah, sometimes a bit of love. Bit of love is all you need. Mate, I still can't believe you bought clothes and got away with it.
Oh, mate,
we got it right.
Yeah. It's happened a few times.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what a guy.
Yeah.
You're setting me up for a fall here.
I'm not sure what that says about my wife's taste in clothes.
I just feel like I'd get it wrong. I'm a bad gift buyer.
That's the thing. That's right down my street.
Yeah.
I've got Pinterest boards. I know what she likes. Sorted.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So organised. Yeah, I'm a bad gift buyer. I'd say that's one of the best things about marriage. Is that now I've got a gift buyer. Someone to do it when it comes to birthdays, Christmases.
Honestly, yeah. Play to each other's strengths.
Yeah. And she loves it. She's got the Pinterest boards. But I'm not particularly. I put a lot of thought into a gift, and it's still not. You can tell by people's reaction, can't you? You just know.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, lovely. I was just like looking in the bag for the gift receipt.
Don't mind a gift receipt.
Yeah, well, I love a gift receipt.
Yeah.
I'm an advocate. Just give some money.
Yeah. just old-fashioned cash.
I said to my mum once, she was going, oh, you can't give someone money. I said, oh, there's this voucher. I said that you can spend at any shop. I said, should I get them that? She went, yeah, that sounds good. I went, that is money.
It's got a £10 note.
Yeah. Just because it's not on a card, in a birthday card. Caught her right out. Still can't do it though.
Oh, amazing. We would really appreciate your comments, your questions, just your stories. Send them in to us at Parenting Tools Pod on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah, and if you're feeling a bit down, if you're feeling like you're having a bit of a bad mental time of it, feel free to reach out to us. We haven't got to share it on the podcast. Let us know if you don't want us to share it. And if you just want to get something off your chest, email us at parentingtoolspod@gmail.com.
Amazing. Take some time for yourself. And I'll see you next week. Have a shower. Come back to smell a little bit better.